Well, it's official. The recession odds are being slashed across Wall Street. The latest firm to reduce recession odds is Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs busily created a report that says the recession odds for 2025 are now 35%, where heading into last week it was 45%. Obviously, this has everything to do with the agreement over the weekend that was announced Monday morning, the 90-day pause, basically, with China. Other firms have also reduced recession odds. Again, some people were at 60, 70, even 90%. We talked about a couple of weeks ago. Torsten Slok, I'll see if he has updated his recession odds. But yes, as we did a video yesterday saying the recession is canceled. From Taylor from Life Goal Investments. It's going to be very interesting where we go over the next 3 months or so. First, let's talk about inflation. We got our first inflation reading of the month. And as one business analyst said this morning, it is irrelevant. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But what is the good news? CPI headline came in at 2.3, which is a 4-year low. Last month was 2.4. Core, once again, below 3%. It has stayed stuck at 2.8%. We did not get the big drop to 2.1 or 2.2 that some of us were calling for, namely Dan Bird over the weekend. But yes, 2.3, 4-year low. Why is that a bad thing? Why is it irrelevant, according to this analyst? Well, they correctly pointed out one thing, and I want to add a second piece to this puzzle, something that you and I have been talking about since January. This analyst talked about that the tariff impact will show up in the next CPI reading, which will be interesting. And if you take apart this particular CPI reading, we did see kind of a slowing move in goods deflation. We did have some things like airline tickets and whatnot go significantly negative, I think down over 2%. But a lot of goods inflation slowed down. And then we saw relatively sticky services inflation. So given that the tariffs will show up next month, given that we have this second leg that we have been warning about since January of the base effect, please remember that the next 3 months, starting with the report that comes out in early June, has the real potential to take CPI headline, which is currently 2.3, certainly in the high 2s, and if we're not careful, could touch 3%. And again, this is all about the base effect. If you want to understand the base effect, type it in. It's just math. You can get upset with it if you want, but it's just math. We're going to be dropping off zeros and a negative 0.1. So even if we got a subdued 0.2, that will take inflation higher. It's just math. You can get upset, but it's just math. To that end, with inflation down, I was surprised to see the 10-year note up. Why is that? Well, again, I think people are starting to realize that recession odds are lower. One of the reasons that rates were going down is people thought that the economy would slow, the job market would weaken, and bingo, bango, the Fed would be forced to cut. Remember, it wasn't 10 days ago. I think it was 10 days, might have been 12 days ago. They were expecting 4 rate cuts, and the first rate cut was supposed to be June. Well, now, if you look at the market as of this morning, they are now only expecting 2 rate cuts, with the first in September and the second in October. Not to be outdone, both Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan updated their rate forecast this morning. Goldman Sachs said that instead of the first rate cut being July, it is now December. JP Morgan was a little bit more subdued. They thought the first rate cut would be September. It is now December. So as we go through the year, my call from earlier in the year of no cuts in 2025 frankly, is starting to look better and better. A couple of other things going on today. Looks like fund managers are also lowering their recession odds. This particular survey said soft landing or hard landing. Soft landing is positive growth. Hard landing in this example is negative growth. As of last month, the odds of a soft landing were only 37%. Now the odds are 61% soft landing. So nearly a double. The odds of a hard landing last month were estimated to be 49%, basically 50-50. Now a hard landing is only 26%, or roughly 1 in 4. This all has transpired in the last 48 hours. So let's think about what is going on. Let's just really think about what is going on. We knew heading into Friday that ships coming from China were starting to show up in LA and Long Beach that had 145% tariffs. Those ships started to show up Friday. We also learned that a lot of small and medium businesses had not reordered. It was unaffordable. It was looming bankruptcy. So now these particular small businesses have been given a reprieve or a pause. So what do you think they're doing? They're ordering again. But here's the problem, or the opportunity, or the thing we must understand. Do you think these folks are ordering just a normal order? Or do you think they might do what we did in the pandemic? Guys, do you remember what happened in the pandemic when the supply chains got all messed up? Buyers were double and triple ordering. So this could happen again. We could have businesses saying, I don't trust this 90-day pause. This thing could blow up in a tweet, blah, blah, blah. We know the drill, right? This is all so chaotic. So what do you think a business is going to do? I suspect they're going to order more than they normally would, which will be very interesting when we kind of step back and look at Q2 GDP. So again, it's just normal human behavior, which is interesting. So again, yeah, I think people are going to double or triple order. It is interesting to note, according to a Yale report, even after the agreement that has been struck with the UK and the agreement with China, that the blended tariff rate is still the highest since 1934. Highest since 1934. The estimate of the blended tariff rate now is 13%. Before the agreement with the UK, and really before the agreement with China, the blended tariff rate was 23%. So again, we are in a much better spot. 13 is better than 23, but we are still highest since 1934. I did read something interesting yesterday. Let's see if I can find it in my notes. It looks like Tariffs collected $16 billion in the month. That is actually a record collection for Tariffs. Those tariffs obviously went to pay down the debt. Again, tariff receipts are $16 billion in April, which I thought was interesting. Looks like the middle class is finally waking up. The middle class has stopped spending on aspirational luxury. That is threatening the high-end boom, of Gucci and Prada and Louis Vuitton and all of that stuff. So again, interesting that the middle class is reducing spending. We did get some Fed comments yesterday. Fed President Goolsbee, the Fed can take its time on policy decisions, i.e. higher for longer. Fed President Kugler still expects inflation to rise and the economy to slow even after the agreement with China. Can you say stagflation? Again, expects inflation to rise and the economy to slow, aka stagflation. It looks like we are starting to get the first look at the budget proposal from President Trump and the administration. And for the real estate guys, the big real estate folks, it looks like bonus depreciation, 100% bonus depreciation is in the proposal. It will go from January 20th of 2025 until December 31st, 2029. So again, you're going to see a lot of people talk about, hey, buy this house, buy this apartment, buy this, Range Rover, buy this airplane, whatever it is, and take your bonus depreciation. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing again. Let's congratulate some people for joining school in the last 24 hours. I thank you for that. I appreciate you. Kenya, Johnston, and Nima. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you introduce yourself. Make sure you get to level 2 or level 3 so you unlock those valuable education and goodies from myself, Ty, Jason, and others. Also want to thank James, who bought my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. Again, if you want a paint by numbers, that is what the course is. It is everything I did to build one rental at a time. If you are looking for a community and you're looking for access, that is what school is. As I've said many, many times before, if you had to pick one, pick school. It's cheaper. It's $20 and you could cancel. But if you are the kind that is sort of like me, where you just want to get paint by numbers and get going, that's what the course is. And James, just so you know, I gave you the 10-week boot camp for free as a thank you. So if you do buy the course, I like to give away stuff for free. So you will get that as well. A couple more things to wrap this up. We did get the small business survey today. It's the NFIB. I just call it the small business survey. It is still declining. Small businesses are not in a good place. It declined to 95.8, which is down 1.6 points since April. Just for context, the 51-year average is 98. 98. So we are below the average, but not terribly below. So folks, let me check my notes real quick, see if there's anything else I want to riff on. Nope, I think we've got it. I guess the last thing I did see is, I already did that, right? The market expects 2 cuts, one in October, one in September. So like, subscribe, comment. If you are on Spotify, do me a favor, subscribe to Spotify, one rental at a time. I would appreciate it. We just started uploading all of our videos to Spotify. So it would be nice to get some more subscribers over there. So I appreciate you. Have fun. Take care. Please join the family. Like, subscribe, comment. We're almost to 69,000. Let me actually look right now. Where are we right now? We are at 68,919. I need 81 more kind souls to subscribe. 81 more of you to subscribe, and we will be at 69,000. Only 31,000 away from the treasured 100K. We'll get there someday. Take care. Have fun. Bye.